Hi, Brenda with the Hospice Care Plan, and today's short story is about a woman and her cat. Her name was Pauline, and she had pancreatic cancer, and for that disease, she was on hospice for nearly 9 months and did very well. And she had a very large family, 9 children, and she lived up in this old big house on a hill. But the most important being in her life was her cat, this orange tabby cat. And she would eat breakfast and it would sit there right next to her breakfast chair. I mean, this cat they were very bonded, and it was always part of our visit. It was kind of a shy cat, and it took, about a month for it to get used to me being around, and then it really did get used to me being around. And I got to really know Pauline well. I knew what her wishes were for after death. She just, she was a very beautiful woman, kind of vain. She wanted to make sure she had lipstick on. We even talked about using some rose oil for anointing after she died. But I never had much interaction with her children. She had a good relationship with her children, but they were busy doing their own lives. And until the end, when she had some hired caregiving, it was her and her cat. And so I was on call the night that Pauline died, and I go out. It's in the middle of the night. And a few days before, as she was dying, all the children arrived, and the cat was not to be seen. And I kept wondering, wonder where the cat is. And in the middle of the night, I go to do the death visit, and I said, well, I can go dress her and do the bathing. They go, we don't want that. I'm like, oh, okay. It's their mother. We need to honor what they want and don't want. They said, she's dead. She's not there anymore. And that's really how they felt. And I respected that. And they go, but we have to go now. And it was unusual, but everybody left. And it was just me in the house with Pauline waiting for the funeral home to arrive to pick her up. And about 5 minutes before the funeral home came in, well, first I'm going to back up. I did honor what the family wanted. I didn't do the full bathing, dressing, anointing of oil, but I did put some lipstick on her, and I did put some rose oil on her, in her face and her hands, to honoring what Pauline had asked for, and also honoring what the family wanted. So I was sitting there waiting, with Pauline, waiting for the funeral home to arrive, and here comes the cat. And I will say, Pauline was good. She had a good, nice, peaceful death. So the cat comes in, and I'm like, oh, you're here. So my instinct was, this cat needs time alone with Pauline. So I stepped out of the room into the kitchen, and about 5 minutes later, the funeral home shows up to pick up Pauline. And I said, I know this sounds a little odd, but can we just wait a couple of minutes to give the cat a little time? And the funeral, it was the middle of the night. They're like, no, we got to get going. So they go in there. They go with the gurney and everything into the room, and I just hear this screeching of the cat, and I'm like, uh-oh. And out comes the funeral home people, and they go, we'll give the cat a couple of minutes. And I remember having this giggle inside, like, well, told you so. And sure enough, after 2 or 3 minutes of this very awkward silence, standing in the kitchen, out walks the cat. And as the cat's walking by us, it stops and looks at me. And it could be my imagination or my wish, but it gave me direct eye contact. Like, I felt a thank you from that cat. And then when we went back in to get Pauline onto the gurney, she looked very different. My sense was that she was truly waiting for her cat. And so that's on the more ethereal side of hospice that we can't explain. I don't tend to live in that world of woo-woo, but I was like, it was a pretty profound moment for me, and I'll never forget it. And I've always had pets, and so I understand the value and the connection. And from the get-go, I really understood the connection between Pauline and her cat. So thank you for listening to my story about Pauline and her cat.